Are you tired of your lunch money getting stolen by these big ass waves? Or you blink for a second and suddenly your whole world is on fire? Well, I've got good news for you. My name's Tufek, and I've got a solo Tempoross method that is going to be better than the masses in both XP per hour, permits per hour, and you aren't going to have to deal with any of the annoying Tempoross mechanics for the majority of the game. If that sounds good to you, please do me the solid and click that like button and subscribe as we are getting closer and closer to 1,000, and I can't thank you guys enough. Without much more, we're going to get into it. First, we'll go over the gear. Now, to be clear, none of this is a requirement. I use an infernal harpoon. This will speed up the games and make it nicer. By no means do you need this. I also stay on the lunar spellbook because you don't need to fill up buckets in between games, but again, you absolutely do not need this. Let me grab out a rope so we have our inventory properly set up. This is another preference thing. I hate the way the spirit angler looks, so we keep a rope in the inventory at all times. Okay, to get this going, first, we're going to set the left click here to solo start. Prior to them adding this option, you had to climb up and wait for the games to start naturally. When they added the solo start option, the XP per hour for this method increased all the way up to 77,000 is what I get when I'm doing this. Pretty much big chilling. So let me explain first how Tempoross works while we are getting our first inventory of fish. It's very important that we have 19 inventory slots because this will let us fully turn our brain off. You want to have 9 of your inventory slots filled with your buckets, your rope, and your pouch. So, top left, we see 3 bars here. We have the energy, the essence, and the storm intensity. The energy is essentially Tempoross's power level. This will go down as we shoot fish at him. The essence is essentially his health bar. That's what will go down when we start fishing from the pool. And the storm intensity is essentially a big laser beam that he is charging up. And if it gets to 100%, he will send your ass straight to the lobby. The way this method works is we are going to lower Tempoross's energy down to below 10%. When it's below 10%, we will get none of these specials. So this wave here, you should always get at around the same time. Always expect 1 wave. Go back, finish cooking your fish. I'm going to leave 2 fish uncooked here. We're only going to be shooting 17 fish at the boss. This method is called the 17, 19, 19, 19 method, and it will make sense as we go along and do it. So, 17 fish going in. We're going to get our lightning, and this is the only lightning that we will be getting for the entire game. So when this one lands, we can get rid of it and go back to adding our fish. So once we have 17 loaded in there, you'll notice that Tempoross is not going to go down. He is just above the HP to where he will go down for us to fish from the pool. That's perfect. That's exactly the way we want it. Now that we've done this, the game is fully AFK. We have turned off all of the mechanics for the rest of the game. Tempoross is basically not in the equation. We are free to just fish, cook, shoot, and repeat. We're going to do 3 rounds of this now that we've gotten our first 17 fish in. That's where the 3 19s are going to come in. And after each inventory of cooked fish, we're going to fish from the reward pool, doing just about 40% damage on the first 2, and finishing it off on the third one. With this method, you should be getting 9 reward points every single game. That's as long as you cook every fish. I'm a little bit lazy and want to get a bit more fishing XP per hour, so the last inventory I don't cook. I take 1 less permit on about half of the games. Some games you get 9, some games you get 8, but you end the games a little bit quicker. So as you can see, the storm intensity is at about 75%. We've got plenty of time to go. we're going to go over to the ammo crate and dump in our 19 fish. As you can see, the first 2 that go in, I think it's that first one, kills him. It'll knock him down, but we're going to make sure we load in all the rest of our fish, because that is what is going to continue making the Tempoross asleep, inactive. It's what's going to keep his energy below that certain percent. So as you can see, we've wasted some of our time on the spirit pool to load in the fish, but it's going to give us enough time to do about 40% damage. One thing to know about the Tempoross is if you do not kill it in 3 downs, if it comes up after the 3rd down and you haven't defeated it yet, your game is basically over. The storm intensity will charge up insanely quickly, there's no way to get him down again, and it will send you back to the lobby. So if you down him, just make sure you come over and fish from the pool. Try not to accidentally down him without fishing. If you do accidentally down him, just make sure you run over here. Your game might be a little bit scuffed to where it normally is, but it is still okay. So as you can see, as soon as the reward pool, sorry, not the reward pool, but as soon as the spirit pool is inactive, those 17 fish that we loaded in are going to fire into the boss. The energy is all the way down below 10%. It's at 4. And now we have no mechanics. Absolutely no mechanics for the rest of the game. We fish, we cook, we shoot. That is all we've got to do. And as you can see, the other side of the island does slowly engulf itself in flames. This is where the firefighter method comes in. If you don't care as much about the fishing XP per hour, and you really want to juice up your points per game, when you go for the last inventory of fish, before you do it, you can fill up your inventory with buckets, with your humidify spell, and go over to the other side of the island and go absolutely nuts clearing the fires. Feel free to do this if you want more permits. I personally don't, just because we're working on maxing, and I'm really prioritizing the XP per hour. So this is our second dump. We're going to go in and fish. After this fish, the essence should be down to about 20%. And then all we got to do is fish up our last inventory. We will be good to go. So as you can see, like compared to the Mass Worlds, the gameplay loop here feels much more fluid, much more smooth, and above all else, consistent. You know you're only going to get that one wave at the start of the game, that one set of fires. You'll never need more than your 7 buckets. You're always chilling. And then as soon as you get those first 17 fish in, you get those fires cleared, you know, no specials, nothing for the rest of the game. You're just good to chill and AFK. One thing I will say is getting the first rounds in, that setup round of the 17 into the 19, because you need to fish and cook 2 inventories of fish in the time frame of 100% storm intensity, at first, you might be a little bit slow, you might be cutting it a little bit close, you might not even make it. So when you're getting used to the method, don't feel like you have to commit to cooking that second set of 19 if your storm intensity is getting too close to 100. You can always put in the fish you need to, you know, down Tempoross and get some damage in, and then finish cooking the ones that you missed to lower it to the percent you need. Because on the second round, you'll have more time and you'll be able to do that. You might get one extra special or one extra wave. That's no big deal, but when you're lower level fishing, or if you don't have Infernal Harpoon, this might be the case on some games if you get a bit unlucky. With that being said, we have our last inventory of fish. We are good to run all the way over to the boat. Again, you don't need to cook this last inventory if you're trying to prioritize fishing XP per hour. I usually just don't cook this last inventory. With the Infernal Harpoon, you'll usually get a handful of them cooked anyway, and typically I roll 8 or 9 points. It's like 50-50. It's kind of a coin flip, just depending on how much the Infernal Harpoon actually gets cooking-wise. If it gets a little bit lucky, we're guaranteed the 9. If not, we get 8 and we move on with our day. But since we cooked this last inventory of fish, we should be guaranteed the 9 permits and be on our merry way. Just like that. That's how I do Tempoross. Much preferable to the masses. It's so chill, it's relaxing, and now that they've added solo start, 75 to 77 KXP per hour if you're semi-locked in, that's pretty decent. We got 8 permits there. I guess it's not exactly guaranteed, it's 8 or 9 dependent. Sometimes you get 9, sometimes you get 8, but there you go. 7 minutes and 46 on the game. 8 permits. That is how you do a chill, relatively AFK solo Tempoross. If you enjoyed this video, if this helped you out, if this taught you anything, please, again, do leave a like, comment on something you want to see more of. If there's a skilling mini game, if there's a method that's confusing you that you want more of, that you want help with, chances are I know about it, and I'm happy to put something out there and maybe make that easier for you guys. So if you like the videos like this, if you want to see more, please give me some feedback, let me know, and I will be catching you in the next one, boys. We are also live every single day, twitch.tv/2factorrs, if you want to pull up and catch any of the progress live. But I won't talk too more. Other than that, have a beautiful night. Take care of yourselves. Peace.